Hello and welcome back to Danville. I'm Professor Toybox. I've got Phineas with me, and today we're going to build the city portion of my toy box. Once again, here's a screenshot of Danville from the Phineas and Ferb TV show. This is the screenshot that my toy box layout is based on. I just made it a bit more compact. We've already built Phineas and Ferb's house there in the middle and the neighborhood around it, and now I'm going to build the city that's in the distance. I couldn't find a screenshot that showed how the overall city was laid out, so I'm just going to fill in some buildings around the road. And by the way, you'll notice that I have the toy box oriented the way I do because the city is kind of over in that direction. And there is more city over that way, but Doofenshmirtz's building is also over there, and we're actually going to have that over here. So I didn't want really two of those right next to each other, both the building and the skyline itself. So that's why I kind of separated those a little bit. But anyway, if you wanted to orient your toy box in that direction, you could. That would work as well. All right, so we're going to start over here. And last time we did place this building. And today we're going to start with the one across the street. And just like before, we're going to line this up with the edge of that road and the edge of this terrain block, just like this. And that helps hide that gap that's underneath the road. So we'll put that there like that. And by the way, you'll notice I'm using the cartoonish style buildings from the Incredibles playset rather than the more realistic ones in Building Sets Group 2, which are from the Marvel playsets. I think these fit the theme of my toy box a little better, so I like that. The next building we're going to line up is going to be right up against that one we just put down and the terrain block that the bridge is sitting on. So we'll put that there like that. And then we're going to come over and pick up this building. And for this one, actually, nope, sorry. The office tower's the next one. And for this one, I'm going to slide this out a half a block away from that building. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to use buildings of different heights and styles, but I'm also trying to stagger them a little bit so it isn't so repetitive. I don't want to use the exact same shape for every building or try to get them to line up perfectly, because that would be, frankly, kind of boring. This one will go ahead and line up with that one, though. And then on this corner, I'm going to line this building up with the corner of that one, just like that. And then we'll put a couple more of these office towers behind that. I know some of you have been trying to give me some hints as to how to flick the joystick to get those to line up. That does not work for me on my Wii U, and I know you mean well, but I don't know why it doesn't work for me. But there is no flicking this joystick to get it to go anywhere. It just moves a little bit, and so it's just the way it is. So thanks for the tips, but yeah, it just doesn't work. Maybe that's only something that works on the PS4 or Xbox or something, or maybe even just the PC. I don't know. I don't have any of those platforms, so I can't answer that. But so I have to fiddle with this thing to get it to line up. And you'll notice I moved this building out away from there just enough so you can see that first row of windows. So I wanted to point that out. And then this office tower sits right next to it, this office building. Now behind that, we're going to go to this short sandstone building. And I want to line this up with the back edge of that office building like that. But I'm not going to place it just yet. I'm going to move to the left and line this up with the edge of the terrain over here. And then we'll put the red brick building next to that. So there we go. And you can see we have buildings of different heights and sizes, and that just makes that look a lot better. A lot more interesting visually. Now on this side of the street, let's go down to the set pieces, and we have Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. This is the iconic building from Phineas and Ferb, so this of course has to be in here. I'm going to line it up with the front edge of that terrain block. There we go. Just like that. And you'll notice on the back end it doesn't go all the way back. So we've got a little bit of a gap there, but that can't really be helped. Then we'll come down to building sets group 2, and we have this 2-story parking garage. And I'm going to put this in here just like this. I can't get any closer to that building, so that's as close as I can get it. And I want the little gate going inside to be facing this way. And then back up to buildings. We'll go back to our sandstone building. I'm going to put that on the back edge of the parking garage. And this one should sit right in here between that building and the road and that terrain block and cover up that gap. Alright, so there's that side of the street on this side of the bridge. Now going to the other side, we're going to come over to this office building. We're going to put that here on this side of the road up against that side of the terrain block in that corner. And that covers up that gap on this side. The red brick building will sit right here. And then we'll put in the office tower next to that. And we're going to put in another office tower over here on the front edge of this building. And then if we come over to the sandstone building, you'll notice this hangs off the edge of that terrain block. So that's why I put that fence in up here to kind of cover that fact. So I'm going to slide that building forward to the edge of that terrain, to the train seam. And with the fence there, as you're running through the toy box, you won't really notice that that building isn't sitting square on that terrain block. So there's our city, and that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and add in some details. So the first thing we'll do, since we're here in the buildings group, let's come to these storefronts. We're going to come into this little corner over here. We're going to put in a couple of storefronts here. And let me grab my screenshot. Oops. Yeah. So for this one, I'm going to stick it right here. And we'll put the next one over right there. And then I think at this point we got to come down to the plants drawer, because we're going to put this fantasy terrain corner 2 right in that corner, just like that. And then we can go back up to the buildings drawer and put in a couple of more storefronts on this side. I'm just going to put 2 of them. You could put a third one here if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that. And now that we got the storefronts in there, we can style this. And I thought it would be kind of fun to use the San Francisco shop. That just adds something visually interesting in that corner. Kind of makes this look like a significant location and a little bit memorable. And we're not going to build this today, but let's go up to the Creativitoys drawer and put in our collection pen. This is where we're going to be delivering some things in some of the games for our toy box. We'll put it in just like that. And then down in the decorations drawer, if we scroll to the right, we have the police car. So we can put a couple of police cars in here. And you'll notice the memory jumped a little bit when we did that. A lot of the things in the decorations drawer take up memory because many of them are destructible. And so that extra behavior adds a little bit of overhead. All right, since we're right here, let's go ahead and put some decorations on the rooftops. The nice thing about this toy box is it's so small. We've got memory to spare, so we can put in a few extra decorations. So I'm going to put one of these AC units in there. We have this Incredibles antenna. I'm going to put that up on top of this building. Excuse me. We'll center it on that building like that. And then we've got this rooftop door, and I'm going to put this over here because we're going to add something on the top of this building here in a little bit. So this will help explain how they get up on top of that building. We have roof vents. And we'll put a few of these over here. And you don't want to go too crazy with these decorations. Again, they do take up memory. But a few decorations here and there will add visual interest and make this fun to look at. And scroll to the right, we got the dumpster. Let's go ahead and put that over here behind the convenience store. And I think I had placed 2 of these here before, but 1 is sufficient, so we'll just drop 1 back here. And then we have the phone booth. We're going to need this for the little quest at the start of the toy box where we're distracting Candace. I'm going to place that with the door facing outward, like that. And I could put this back away from the sidewalk a little bit. Some of you youngsters probably have no idea what that is. They don't have phone booths too much anymore. And I think that's everything in this drawer. Yeah, all the rest of that is other stuff. So everything else we need is up under Building Sets Group 2. So if we scroll right from the parking garage, let's get past these signs. There are some rooftop decorations, and these work pretty well with the Incredibles playset. So we're going to put this rooftop AC unit over here, and I think I'm going to orient it. Let's see. Trying to find my screenshot here. Let's do it this way. And I'm going to put another one over here on top of this roof. Center it. I'll slide it back just a little bit. And we'll do it this way. And then we have a rooftop pigeon coop, which is kind of neat looking. Reminds me of Secret Life of Pets. I kind of like that. And a helipad. And we need to put this over here on top of this building. I'll put it with the ladder facing this way. And then we'll scroll right and we come to the pipe climbs. So let's go ahead and add in the pipe climbs. This is going to be how we get up on top of all these buildings. So we'll put one there. Put one over here. We'll need a bunch of them on the front of this. Like that. And we're going to need one here because there's no way to get up on top of that parking structure otherwise. Going into the parking structure only gets you up to the second floor, not the top. And then we'll add a pipe climb over here that'll get us up on top of this building. We're going to put another one over here to get up on top of these buildings. Like that. And we'll need a shorter one there. little short one up there. And I'm not going to put these on every building because there's really no need. As long as you have a way to get up on top of the buildings, that's what matters. You don't have to have a way to get from every building to every other building. Part of the fun of this is trying to find the route to get somewhere. So you climb this pipe climb, you can get up to the top of this building, but there's no pipe climb to get up over on that one from here. But if you look around, you see one over here, and then there's a way to get up there from there. So there is a way to get up on top of every building, but you have to look around a little bit, and that kind of makes it fun. You want the player to have to explore a little in order to do that. Okay, I think, whoops, nope, we're not quite done yet. We keep going to the right, we got these air conditioning units, some fans and other things. So I'm going to put one of these here. We have the corner duct. I can put that over here. And I'm going to put another one over on top of this building like this. And again, we don't need to go crazy with these, but that adds a little bit of interest. All right. And we're doing pretty good on time today. So I think I'll go ahead and build the monster truck arena too. And then the entire outdoor portion of the toy box will be done. And that's going to sit in over here in this corner. And so for this, everything we need is going to be up under these two drawers, the sports toys and the racetrack pieces. And actually, I think it's even just under the racetrack pieces. It probably would have been faster to scroll the other way. Oh well. Too late now. Okay, so we come to these pipes. And this is going to be the basis for our arena. And what I'm going to do is I'll come down here first. And the first one I'm going to drop, I think I'm going to put it right on this terrain seam like this. And we've got to leave room enough for the challenge maker. So we're going to come about like, let's put the first one right here. And so it's just, so we got about a block and a half to the edge of that terrain seam there. Then we're going to be a half a block off. So you can see if I put another piece of sidewalk in next to that and made the sidewalk 2 blocks wide, that would put me right up against that ramp. And I'm actually one more over from there. So that's where I'm starting. And we're going to put in another 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 4 total. And then we'll put the corner in. Okay. And then going this direction, let me see if I can find the measurement. So for the flat pieces, I'm going to need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops. Let's see, now I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And then a corner. And then for this direction, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we add in the corner. And then at this point, it's just kind of repeating what we have on the other side. So 8 of them with the corner. And then going down this side, we have 4 of them again. 2, 3, 4. All right, so there is the perimeter for our arena. Now in the middle of this, we're going to put this stunt park hill. So we're going to drop that right here in the middle of the park. Nicely centered. And then we'll come over to pick up the racetrack. And we're going to need, I believe it's the short curve. Okay, so about like that. And we're going to go ahead and style this, because I want this to look like a dirt track. And if you use the X Games one, you could use that, but it's really dark and it's really muddy looking. And that's not quite what I want, because you got all the grass that's in here too. So what I used instead was Mickey's Fertile Farmland, and I'll set that to be my theme. And this looks like a nice dirt track, but it's also got the cartoony look that fits the rest of the toy box here. So I like that a lot. So we can exit out of Spark mode. We can come down here and drop in the corner, and let's figure out what we need here as far as the distance. I believe it's just one of these. Yep, just like that. And then on this side, it's the next smallest one. Again, I'm just trying to center everything. So we need one there, we need one there. And we'll go ahead and pick this piece up and put it down so I don't have to scroll all the way over to that end of the drawer again. And the racetrack here is purely decorative. There's no actual race around the track. I'm not using a start gate. You could put one in if you wanted and race around and around and around this for 3 laps. There's nothing to prevent that. It's not particularly exciting, but it's something you could do if you wanted. All right, and now I want the little speed boosters. Here we go. Because this is part of what makes this fun, is being able to speed boost across this thing. And we'll go ahead and put in just 2 of these, I believe. So you want to make them have to find the optimal spot in order to use these. We'll bring this in just a little bit and center that. There we go. And I'm not going to put one in on this side, because that's just going to send you right out of the arena. So that wouldn't be very helpful. All right, so that's the arena itself. And one more thing, you'll notice this track here doesn't line up very well with that corner, but I think we can flip this around and make it do that. There we go. So that looks a little more seamless. And same thing with this piece up here. The thing with the Mickey's farm terrain is it's not perfectly symmetrical. That line is not right down the middle of the track. So we want to make sure that's all oriented nicely. Okay. Now let's come down to the sports toys. And we have these stadium lights. And I want to put some of these down around the perimeter of this. And so the first one we're going to drop is right here on the center of that, between those two X Games signs, right in the middle. And then the next one we're going to put down here between those two. We'll put another couple of them over here, like that. And this isn't anything more than just decorative. We're not going to be doing anything with these. So you don't need a lot of them, you just want to give the idea that this is a stadium. Okay, and then for the other direction, to try to keep it somewhat evenly spaced, we'll put it, first one right here, the second one right there. And the same thing on the other side. So one there, one there. Okay. So that looks good. All right. Let's come over and pick up this sidewalk here because we got to extend this down. And I'm going to have to style this again. And once again, we're using the concrete style. I'll set that to be my theme. I don't need many of these, but I do need a couple of them. Like that. And then under the blocks drawer, I believe it's the Fantasy Terrain Strip 2. Yeah. That's the Danville terrain strip. But you'll notice it extended the edge of that, so I want to put this back for right now. Okay. And then we're going to alternate and put down this one and this one, and we'll put in one more of those because it doesn't make sense to have a gate right here at the entrance of this. And then on this end, come all the way to the edge of the terrain, like this. And which one do we have? It's this one. And again, we'll alternate. And now we'll go ahead and style. And I'm not doing a theme all because we got that San Francisco piece we put down earlier. So I don't want to mess that up. Oops. Cancel out of that. Meant to do this one next. And I reset the drawer. Oh well. That's why I try to do the like pieces first. Because when you don't, then you got to scroll almost every time. And then one more down here. There we are. So now we have kind of a nice fence there. We've got a fence on either side of the street as we're going down this way. So that looks good. And I got in a few more trees. And I think we'll be just about done. So let's go ahead and put one in over here, kind of in this corner. Like that. We'll put in another one over here. And again, I don't want to go too crazy with these. I mean, you look at the memory right now, and it looks like I have the memory, but I plan to put a lot of activities in here, so I don't want to pack this too full. of trees and things. I want to make sure I leave enough room that sorry, there we go. I want to make sure I leave enough room for all of the games. All right, so we're going to put another one of these over here. And we're going to put a section of fence in here. And we're going to stick this out. I want this lined up with the edge of that fence there. So we'll do that. And then we're going to come down to this end. And let's put in the gate here. That strip there, and we have a gap, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. All right, so if we go ahead and style that, oops, let's go the other way. That gets us this Danville terrain corner. That gets us the strip with the trees. This gets us the gate. So we've got a gate there, and it almost looks like we kind of have a gate here, a little bit wider one. All right, let's set this tree like that. And I think we'll put in another tree over here. But I'm not going to style this just yet. We do want to rotate this, however, so it doesn't look too repetitive, and I'm going to drop this probably right there. And I'll style that later after we put the water slide in. So there we go. That's it for the outdoor portion of my toy box. I think it looks really good. I like the way this is turning out. Next time, we'll build Agent P's lair under Phineas and Ferb's house, and then we'll be done with the build exercise for this toy box. Before you go, I want to let you know that I'll be airing a special little Christmas video tomorrow morning, so be sure to come back for that. Or better yet, you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and then you won't miss it. Just click my photo in the lower right corner to subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.